I'm sitting in this truck. It's my son's old four-wheel drive Chevy. We park it at the curb. Now the interesting thing is today, the county commissioner came and told me that I was breaking the law because it was at the curb. Now, I don't know if you can see that. See those two cars there? They're not even facing the right way. See those two cars up there? They are facing the right way, but they're also at the curb. It's not illegal to park a car at the curb. Now, see, I got the hood up. I sprayed some starting fluid in it because it's a 70-something Chevy. See if you can hear this. My truck runs. My son's truck runs. I told him I'm not in violation of the law and I didn't do anything wrong, you know, and I'm happy to prove that it runs, but it's not illegal. And he said, yes, you have to move it. You don't have a choice. I said, well, what law am I breaking? He started yelling and screaming at me, putting his finger in my face. And, I mean, it got ugly. Neighbor came outside to see why he was yelling so loud. And I kept telling him, it's got a tag, it's got insurance. Yeah, it's a big, ugly 1970-something Chevrolet truck on 40-inch tires. It's a recreational vehicle that doesn't get driven every day, but there's no law specifying that. That van up the road, you can see it up there, it gets driven. Well, actually, I haven't seen it moved in quite a while. It hasn't been moved in a long time. And I don't care because this is America. So I told him, what law am I breaking? I kept going back to that, kept going back. And he kept telling me he didn't know, but I was. And he would have the city attorney or the county attorney call, because I'm not in the city, I'm in the county. And I kept telling him, I know I'm not, because they wrote me a letter about this truck about 2 months ago, calling it an inoperable vehicle. It's not. And he said, well, you got blocks behind the wheels. And I said, you scotch a manual transmission on a hill. And then he just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and yelled and screamed at me, told me that he'd see me in court, he's going to send a tow truck, and he was going to send sheriff's deputies, and he'd be back with the law. And I asked him, what political party do you belong to? And he said, I'm not telling you. And I said, what do you mean you're not telling me? I'm your constituent. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a voter. You got to tell me. And he said, well, I'm a Democrat. And I said, well, no wonder you don't believe in constitutional rights and freedom. If I'm not breaking a law, I'm not doing anything wrong, you can't do anything. I don't have to listen to you just because you have a political office. This isn't North Korea. Anyway, he yelled and screamed, and finally, my wife basically told him to leave when he was pointing his finger in my face, that she was going to call the police and have him removed. Because you don't go in a man's yard. I mean, he was up there by all those bicycles. See those? He was up there yelling and screaming at me, hand in my face. Anyway, so that's our District 1 commissioner here in Madison County. And I kept telling him, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. But if I'm not breaking the law, I'm not going to move my truck or get rid of my truck or whatever you want me to do just because you say. This is not how America works. And if I'm breaking a law, I'm happy to be in compliance with the law. But, you know, like Paul said, do you beat me uncondemned being a Roman? You know, if I've not broken the law, I'm not going to jump through hoops just because some neighbor complained because they don't like this car, but they're fine with the other four on the curb. So anyway, it was sad. If it's blocking a driveway or it's in a bad spot, ask me. Be a neighbor. Ask me. I'll move it. You need your grass cut? I'll cut your grass. You need help moving furniture? I'll help you move furniture. But to just bypass being a neighbor and call and complain, it's just low. It's just low. But anyway, he left, and then he stopped back by on the way up. He went down, turned around, came back up, rolled his window down, started up on me again. And again, I pointed at the cars in the neighborhood. I said, why are they not in violation? Well, nobody complained. Well, complaints don't equate law. We're a nation of laws. I told him that. We're a society built on laws. If I'm not violating a law, then there's nothing anybody can do. That's what society is built on. You can complain all day long. It's your God-given right to complain, and you have a First Amendment to complain. And so do I, which is why I'm making this video. But man alive, it was like this little man thought that he was a North Korean general and he was going to tell me what for, and I had to comply because he told me to. And when I asked him, tell me what law that I'm breaking and I will be in compliance with the law, he had nothing. So anyway, I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to then resume showing you where it is now. Now you can see that I'm right here in front of that mailbox, and I'm in front of that tree right there. And if I'm blocking something that I legally need to move for, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I'm not a ruthless, stubborn ox. Well, maybe I am a stubborn ox, but I'm not ruthless. I'll obey the law, you know. So now I'm going to close the hood and pull it up, and I'll show you the new place I put it, and we'll see when they tow it. I'll have video evidence that I that I had moved it and that they're just harassing me. And that's what I told him, that this is harassing me, and I'm going to file a police report that I'm being harassed by an unnamed neighbor. I asked him who it was, that I had the right to face my accuser. He told me that he wasn't going to tell me. And I told him this is harassment, you know, and there are lawsuits for harassment when I'm in compliance with the law and I'm being harassed. That's a lawsuit. You know, you could sue somebody for that. All right, hold on a second. Okay, so there, I moved it and parked it up the road here, and I'm going to scotch my wheels again, because you scotch the wheels of a manual transmission when it sits on a hill. I think that somebody just doesn't like this big old ugly truck. And you know what? That's cool. You got that right as an American, but it's not illegal to have a big old ugly truck on your curb. It's not illegal to park on the curb. See those cars on the curb? See those cars? Look at that. Both of them are facing the wrong direction even. You're not supposed to park facing the wrong direction. He didn't say a thing in the world about that because he doesn't care. He just cares to appease whatever complainer, and I told him that. Look, it's okay. But I'm telling you that I'm not breaking a law, and if I'm not breaking the law, I appreciate the complaint, and if I need to move it a few feet because it's bugging somebody, I'm fine. But this isn't North Korea. I don't have to answer to you because you yell and scream in my face. And to be honest, if you do, I'm probably going to ask you to leave. All right, well, there it is. There it is. There will it be, and when they come to tow it, you'll have the before and the after of where it ended up before they illegally towed it, before they end up going to court, or, you know, I call down fire from heaven or whatever I do.